experiencing unexplained morning sickness, and every time her sister spent the night with the emperor, she would suffer from excruciating pain. Painkillers did nothing to help. While her sister slept soundly through the night, she could barely stay conscious from the agony. The woman realized her sister must be using some kind of dark magic to transfer the suffering onto her. But even after taking 100 bottles of contraceptives, it did nothing to her sister. So she sent over a bowl of chilled sour plum soup, a traditional Chinese cold drink. She had hoped the cold drink would cause her sister to miscarry, but instead, the pain was transferred to her once again. This time, because the cold had seeped into her body, she began bleeding from her lower body. Then one day, her sister burst into her room unannounced. Seeing contraceptive bottles scattered all over the floor, the sister smirked coldly, realizing her sister had been bearing her suffering all along. The older sister begged her desperately to lift the dark magic, but the younger sister responded by squeezing her own stomach tightly. The older sister cried out in immediate agony. Then the younger sister deliberately slammed her belly into the table corner. This time, the pain was so intense the older sister nearly collapsed to her knees. Unable to bear it any longer, the older sister slapped her sister across the face to make her stop. That's when she discovered, although abdominal pain was transferred to her, slapping her sister caused her no pain at all. So she struck her again, harder, letting out all the torment she'd endured for so long. This act enraged the younger sister, who then pulled out a dagger and plunged it sharply into her own stomach. Instantly, the older sister's abdomen began to bleed. As the younger sister twisted the dagger deeper, the older sister bled profusely and eventually passed out from blood loss. Just then, the emperor arrived to visit the younger sister. She immediately dropped the dagger and threw herself into his arms, sobbing pitifully. She accused her sister of trying to harm her unborn baby, claiming her sister had forced her to take contraceptives. Furious, the emperor ordered the older sister's execution, but the younger sister, putting on a show of mercy, begged him to only confine her sister to house arrest for a year. After all, if her sister died, there would be no one to bear the pain for her. Touched by her supposed kindness, the emperor punished the woman with a year of confinement. 10 months later, as the younger sister was about to give birth, the older sister was still enduring the pains of labor on her behalf. After the younger sister delivered the child, she handed the baby over to her sister. It turned out the child was not the emperor. She had secretly been with another man. Fearing the emperor would notice the baby didn't look like him, she framed her sister before his arrival. When the emperor saw the unusual-looking infant beside the older sister, he assumed she had been unfaithful and immediately ordered her to be beaten to death with rods. But the next second, the woman suddenly opened her eyes, only to find she had been reborn and had returned to the exact day she and her sister first entered the palace. Determined to avoid the tragic fate of her previous life, this time she resolutely chose to forego the chance to enter the palace, intending to let her sister go alone. As soon as she finished speaking, she turned to leave. Unexpectedly, her sister, adoptive mother, and father immediately stopped her. Her adoptive mother stepped forward, took her hand, and hypocritically said she hoped both sisters would thrive. Seeing right through their pretense, the woman instead clutched her adoptive mother's hand tightly and declared she was willing to stay and serve her for life. The moment those words left her mouth, all three of their faces turned grim. From their reactions, the woman suddenly understood it wasn't just her sister who wanted to harm her. They were all in cahoots. Her father then came clean, revealing he'd already made plans to put her and her sister in adjoining quarters allegedly so they could look out for one another. But a question arose in the woman's mind.